order. Okay. Roll call, regrets. George Banzer is not present. David is present. Matthew is present. Angela is present. Jeff, the CAO, is away on vacation. Acting CAO is Coralie.
Congratulations, Coralie.
And Tyler, and as well as Pat are all here. Now, we're going to pause to seek guidance, please. And I will do the mission statement. To provide, promote, or facilitate municipal services that meet the community needs by preserving, supporting, enhancing quality of life for all. The next is the approval of the agenda.
I move approval of the agenda.
Is there a seconder?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. There's no delegations or presentations this evening. The next then would be the approval of the minutes of June 28th, 2022. Is there any errors or omissions anyone needs to notice?
I move approval of the minutes of June 28th as presented. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. Unfinished business from the minutes of June 28th, 2022. Anyone have anything they want to bring forward?
Nope.
Okay. Our CAO report is next. Meeting reminders. I guess the easiest way to tell you, on August the 9th, we have committee of the whole and special council meeting. On September the 6th, we have a bylaw and policy. On September the 14th, we have committee of the whole, and September 27th, we have council. So August 16th, 23rd, and 30th, there are no meetings.
I will be absent August the 9th.
I will be absent August the 9th as well.
Yeah, we know that 2 will be missing, but there will be 3 of us here.
Okay.
And if there are any conflicts or anything that you guys think might come up, we are trying to pass the financial statements that night. So
What?
so that was better.
The financial statements. Oh. That's why it's a special meeting. That's the only thing we will do at that meeting.
Okay, so I won't be missing anything too good.
Not really.
I understand everything, so I'm good.
I've never understood anything, so I also am good.
Okay, then. Action items from previous minutes. Is there any action items that anyone want to bring forward? Hearing none. Update on capital projects 2022-2023. Anything we need to update on?
The only update on this came in pretty much right after he put this report forward was the public works mower has been received. So that came in at just over 10,000, and that includes tax. So that'll be on the next report.
Okay. Well, we needed it. Any questions on the financial report of June 2022, which was sent out?
I was just wondering if the lift station is complete. Is that still complete for the lane?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
No. The waiver still has to. You're looking at the capital projects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only the cabinet that came in, so it hasn't been installed yet.
Okay. Is there any questions on the financial report sent in? Okay, we will go to standing committees. The international, we have a recommendation from the bylaw and policy for the International Women and Addictive Symposium 2022. The motion is there from that meeting.
I'll move to approve the coverage of costs incurred by Councillor Angela Thurber as she attends the International Women and Addiction Symposium in St. John, New Brunswick from September 22nd to 24th. 2022.
I'll I'll second that.
And the reason being, it's being brought forward because it's in another province, even though the expenses is cheaper to go into Halifax. It's just the way our
Oh,
policy,
does that have right?
our policy is if you're in the province.
It's automatic,
For,
a discussion.
like the FCM, it's automatic that you. put that.
I just would like to point out, I have several women with addictions that I come in contact with that I worry about their concern with. So I'd be interested in any sort of supports that you have kicking down the line. I'd be curious to hear.
There's an international one too. I was looking at the information, the last one was in Stockholm, so, and I looked at the speakers and it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, definitely interested.
I was invited, and I was invited, I believe, not because I'm Warden, but because I'm a female. I don't think they were looking at females at this meeting, at this international conference of women. Just my own thoughts, I could be wrong, and I asked Angela if she could attend on my behalf.
Nice.
And I'm so happy that if she can attend, that she does. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried.
Just the mental health aspect, you guys, I'll just make it quick. No, I'm not gonna segue out to somewhere completely different, something that's not on the agenda. I've stopped myself.
Thank you.
It's a very rare thing.
The next is another motion for the to add advocacy for education to the strategic plan. Can someone move that?
I would definitely move that. I move to send a letter to Charlotte Sabine to advise that the municipal council.
Wrong one.
Wrong one, top one first.
Oops, move to add advocacy for education to the strategic plan.
Is there a seconder?
I'll second it.
Should it be advocacy for
Oh.
education or literacy? It's quite specific about the literacy.
Yeah, but we will break that down once,
Okay.
you know, do a main title. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. Next, we need this motion.
I'll move to send a letter to Charlotte Sabin to advise that the municipal council will add advocacy for education to our strategic plan and to advise the amount that we currently provide towards education.
Any discussion, questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. The next is the audit committee, council and CAO expense summary report. Did you want to speak on that, Coralie?
No, it's basically just outlining what you guys' expenses were for last year. Everybody came in under budget, so, this just brought forward from our audit committee. Just as a confirmation.
So can someone move to accept the council and CAO expense summary report as presented?
So,
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is doctor recruitment, Deputy Warden Ross. Go ahead.
Basically, all I'm looking for is, for council to be an update in the direction for Jeff. I met with, the warden, of Claire, Yvonne LeBlanc, and I've been talking with, our MLA, Jill Balzer, about, some ideas, and they're just ideas at this point. Just learning some stuff, and I had an opportunity to talk to Yvonne, and I had an opportunity, well, me and Angela both had an opportunity to go to meet the health minister last week, and Jill also asked me to come on tour with them. So I was through the Digby Hospital, I went down and we looked at the Weymouth Medical Center, and we went to the Clare Medical Center, so met a bunch of staff and doctors down there and stuff. So at this point, I just need direction from council just to let Jeff talk to Jill and talk some of this out. Is that cool with you guys?
yeah, that'd be fine.
I don't want to make any promises. Like I said, it's just
Yeah.
having a conversation.
I got COVID, so I wasn't able to go to breakfast.
That's right. Yeah, we were talking about you. Mr. Bowerman was there, so yeah.
Who was there?
Brian Bowerman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking. Yeah.
My
Brian.
co-conspirator for
Yep, he is.
keep things going.
Gordy was there. So.
Oh, good.
So I don't think we need a motion for that, just direction, right?
That's all we're doing.
Thank you.
The next is the housing engagement session. They have asked to meet with each council between September and October, between 9:30 and 5 o'clock during the weekday. So we have been asked to pick a date and do this. Didn't it say it was a 1-hour session, if I remember rightly? They were, I mean, it wasn't like an all-day set, right above, 90 minutes to 2 hours. So we would have to book in 2 hours. So my question is,
I just have something Jeff wanted to pass
oh,
on.
okay.
He was wondering if maybe council would be interested in him and Angela working together to make a date, because he figures it's gonna be really hard to get everybody's schedules to work out.
For
And
what?
if he could get Angela and him on board, then throw that date out to council and see if
Oh,
people could
okay.
attend, if that was okay with you or
Who-
the rest of the council. See what you guys wanted to do.
With Angela.
Just because there's a number of days, a number of times, and everybody's schedules are so crazy, he figured it'd be a lot of back and forth.
Because see, what I was thinking, we would do it maybe like on the day before council or on a day before committee of the whole. And then continue on, like,
Yeah, that sounds, whatever.
but that will be up then too.
It's whatever you guys wish to do.
It's a long trip for me. I'd love to double up with whatever I can.
But I have no problem awaiting, and maybe you
And
can
we
be
can
looking at
suggest
that
that,
time,
yeah.
a thing, because it's easier to bring a meal in and us all meet than, you know what I mean?
I can take that back to him and see if
Or
Yeah,
even before, bylaw policy. I mean, there's,
I don't mind letting Angela do it, and then she come back and.
he wants to make sure she's there.
Yeah,
But we'd like to see as much as council that can be there as possible.
I'll try, but no
Yeah.
promises, like, that's a
And
lot of work.
it's also for, it says for staff, and the CAO, so, as well as members of council. So, Angela, if, you guys can look at it and see what you come up with, and, because I would certainly like to hear it.
you guys have a chance.
All right, well, look how quick we have gone through so far.
Maybe Jeff could slow us down the whole time. We could probably fly through these.
Let's not push it too far. There is no correspondence under information items. The next is the PAC June minutes. Was there any questions or concerns from those minutes? Under other council committees, there's nothing mentioned. So under our joint intermunicipal committee minutes reports, it's the dark April minutes and June reports. Any questions, comments? There was no meeting in May. It got canceled due to, lack of quorum, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody was sick, I believe.
And there's nothing listed for outdoor boards, committees. So we will go to councilor district activity reports. Let's start with Angela.
Okay, I've been busy going to a lot of the local events. I was a judge for the King and Queen of the Lobster Bath. I attended the Bear Cherry Carnival, and I attended the Strawberry Tea at the Smith Cove Historical Society, and I attended the 150th anniversary of the Historical Society in Smith Cove on Saturday. And I've done a few online meetings with the Tri-County Housing, and I did the one getting to know your health board. And that's it.
Okay. So, Deputy Warden.
This month was a busy month. Started with Canada Day celebrations at Weymouth Days. Weymouth had a very well attended parade. With, excuse me, lots of vendors and celebrations. Hillbilly Band won for best parade float. Really good.
He's really good.
Yep. And I then proceeded to Digby Fisherman's Park for the Canada Day barbecue with the town. Lots of people came out to attend and listen to One Night Only on the Gazebo. I attended Lobster Bash on July 10th. It was a very well attended festival. Great job to all the volunteers that put it all together. The fireworks were fantastic and the food was great. Look forward to next year. I met with the Municipality of Clare, Warden Yvonne LeBlanc, and MLA Jill Balter about our healthcare situation. I was invited by the Warden Linda Gregory and MLA Jill Balter to attend the Minister of Health, Michelle Thompson's visit in our area. After, I was invited by MLA Balter to accompany them on site visits to Digby Hospital, Weymouth Medical Center, and the Medical Center in Clare. I have the pleasure of living next door to the Haynes Lake property that was originally the old Lands and Forest building. This summer, Digby Area Recreation was fortunate enough to get a grant to pay for 2 full-time staff members to open the property Wednesday to Sunday, 12 noon to 8 p.m. They've done an amazing job out there. Families come out and enjoy paddleboarding, kayaking, disc frisbee, golf, tennis, campfires, swimming, and more, and basically, this is all for free. It has been well attended, and my family, I've had my family there, and we've taken advantage of the activity. Really cool. So I want to let everybody know that. Get it out there, because it's a great thing for a municipality to have that piece of property. I've also dealt with calls on illegal dumping in the district and some property issues. This is July.
Okay, David.
Big thanks to Schools Plus. They got a lot of kids to camp. Normally I write a lot of those grants and budgets, and Aileen from Schools Plus did all that this year, and it was a great team effort. Everybody got all the kids to camp. I used the mental health intake line. As you recall, I tried to make that a campaign issue during the last provincial election. Wrote a thing for the Chronicle Herald and on the radio a few times, that sort of stuff. And I was on it again, and it's day and night how it's set up. It's what a difference. It was instant that they were done in. You didn't need to spend 20 minutes convincing them with all the bizarre questions. It was like, yeah, it was a real shock. I didn't expect that. So yeah, it took minutes to get through. Meeting with village commissioners and harbor authorities about salmon cages. We've got a couple of complaints, 2 separate people complaining about the ambulance. Going to a person's house tomorrow. I'm going to write a letter of complaint for them. And the other one is the lady who, when we had the ambulance meetings, I had the ambulance meeting up here. I don't know if anyone else in council came. It was during COVID. We had a bunch of the experts from DHS come down, not the experts, the meeting. So I'm going to be bothering them again. It's the same woman. Her other parent had something terrible happen. Exact same problem. Hours waiting with a heart attack. The mother died from the brain aneurysm. So not that good. Nurse practitioner is hired and is now learning how the system works in Digby. Before as they become more comfortable, they'll be down here more and more. Of course, I haven't made it over to her because I went to COVID, and it kind of threw a giant wrench into all my plans for over a week. It wasn't very nice being at home. I do very poorly in prison, I think.
That's nice to know.
Food bank. I chaired the last Turning of the Tide meeting. I went to apply for money for the food bank from them, and somehow I ended up volunteered, and now I have to find somebody else to apply because I'm in conflict. So, great job on my part. And I had a funny call today. It was solved today. Somebody complained about porta potties, that there was none in Freeport. There's one in East Tiverton, Westport, and East Ferry. I remember quite a few years ago we lobbied for those. And it was supposed to be there. The guy that they hired just didn't put it there. So, yay. It's always good to have 2 minutes.
The last time I was in Tiverton, there was no toilet paper. It needed a cleaning. And when I asked about it, they told me that they used to be given toilet paper at the little canteen beside it.
Yep.
They're not given hand sanitizer. So they said they have hand sanitizer there, so it was coming out.
Yep.
But paper or anything to give them. And, because, I just haven't had a chance to write.
Yeah, it's the Department of DOT, the guy.
It was disgusting.
I'm glad to hear that, actually, not glad to hear that, but I will write John Makrovich that I heard that they're actually in quite rough shape as well.
To me, it was dirty, needed to be emptied, and no toilet paper, no hand sanitizer. I carry my own hand sanitizer and I have Kleenex with me.
I'll write you a quick letter on your behalf, Jill, all right?
Yes, you can.
All right.
I can even give you the date I was in there.
New guy, yeah, I would, actually. There's a new guy having a little bit of trouble with the village commission. I think I smoothed things over. Get people working together right there. Blue-green algae report in Lake Midway, but they didn't close the lake. So I wrote Jill, and I guess they tested it, and I didn't hear back, so it must be fine. I did miss out on that health minister visit. I really wanted to tell him about how useful that 20-minute monthly touch base phone call I have is. I feel like every MLA should do what I do. Those, 8 people on there for everything from lab collections to ambulances. It's just so useful for knowing what's going on and keeping things. And it introduces the whole aspect of accountability into the relationship because you follow up the next month. And I think that's absent with a lot of MLAs and politicians' relationships with the health minister. So maybe I'll write a letter and give it to Jill. Well, we'll see. Straight Pipe Initiative. Westport is talking now about doing something about the sewer. They sent in a letter today. I put it, you guys haven't gotten it yet. I dropped off copies with the acting CAO. They want 2 things. Westport to be repaved and sewage system. I checked out, in LaHaye, they had something called the Straight Pipe Initiative. So the Department of Health kicked in money for all the houses that had the straight pipes that just go straight into the river, or in our case, straight into the harbor. And so maybe we could get, if we do a project down there like Weymouth, there's a possibility that the province would kick in like 20%.
We're gonna have to look at our capital spending.
I know it's not anything
there's
easy.
anything for this year.
No.
But I mean, we will, that's where, when the letter comes.
Well, I just got the letter
discuss it,
today.
but we'll end up with capital.
I just got the letter today, and I'll go tell them, I'm gonna respond to the letter and say I'm taking it to you guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna discuss it.
And
budgets have already been done for this
CAO
year. And also I'm gonna explain that we don't really know the process for the community because this is new to us. So we have to do some
it
research.
would have to be on the capital budget.
Yeah, we also have to do some research. Okay, straight pipe is schools plus, mental health and page, the health minister. Oh, EDC, I talked about, the fully accessible trail on Briar Island, one of the very, very few major trails in the province that is fully accessible. And, geez, have they ever done well with that? They've gotten over $100,000 worth of donations towards that over the years since I begged them all to join the committee. Boy, that they ever get things done, those guys. And I think that it is going to make, even though everybody's like, oh, it'll cost way too much money, they'll never be able to do it. I think they are going to be able to do it. They get that trail right to Park Hill, through the whole thing, which is kind of amazing to me because that's a huge process. That wasn't no small thing, but geez, those guys with a whole bunch of, I don't know, type A personalities, just go-getters. That's it. Sorry for going on so long. Sorry, Matt. Didn't mean to do that to you.
All good.
First of all, I would like to thank Angela for doing things for me on July 1st and 2nd, and a couple other events where my husband was so very ill and my brother's death. And I do appreciate you going to the Historic Society and those type of things on my behalf. I also want to thank both of you for attending with the Minister of Health, because it's just been a hard month for me. I will say though that I did attend Cherry Carnival where I talked to the firemen and we chit-chatted, had a nice time. I did the opening and closing at our lobster bash, plus I volunteered for the 3 days for selling tickets. They sold out for the first time on 50/50.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, so they had a $2,000 winner who was from the island.
Ooh.
I could have told you last
We
week.
have a lot of luck, man. We win a lot of those,
He was from Tiverton, and, I happened to selling the ticket, that's what I thought was funny. I also attended, to everyone's amazement, the dark meeting that I had, for whatever reason, thought it was at our curling club, and it was out at what's our new name of the TIR? Or for the, Vandenborg. What do we call that property? Just call it
Eight-Lake property.
Oh, Eight-Lake property. So, I will say, we had a good meeting. And then, everyone but me, got on a boat to sail around the lake. And I wanted to make sure I was nice and safe where I was sitting and watching over it.
off the shore.
Oh, I had my boating license.
It's okay. I had mine too, right there on the step. But no, they all had a good time. It was a good meeting, and it was nice to see and meet the staff there at that time. So it was very, very nice, and like I said, it was nice of Matt to take people out. To be honest, when I get on boats, I'm usually sick, so I'm not fussy on boats at any time. I attended the RCMP musical ride, that was an invitation. I have had various calls, and I am dealing with a few things. The one thing that I noted, and I'm going to speak to our MLA about, in Newfoundland and Labrador, any Ukrainian doctor that has come in from this is going to be able to practice in Newfoundland because they're giving them their license.
We should be doing that from day one in Nova Scotia, except the bloody college, positional colleges has this whole province by the throat.
All I'm saying is, they're doing this special, so any of these doctors that have come in will be able to practice in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Only.
Well, that's the province that's giving them their licenses because they feel they've been practicing doctors. They didn't come here looking for work, they came here to escape death.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to bring that forward because I thought, wouldn't that be nice if the other provinces were looking at that? Whether it would cause a war from people being upset that they've been here and trying to get their licenses. I have no idea, but I think the province has got to look at it. But I just thought, it's been on the news, I thought it was a great thing.
I think Michelle did mention that at the meeting, that they were looking into how they could do that, because Beth brought it up.
So, the other good thing is, the MLA did not take their raise,
Doesn't look good for all the other people looking for cost of living raises, though.
they were gonna have a 12% raise. They would have been over each, every one of them over $100,000.
Right now, they make under 90, which doesn't seem like a hell of a lot to me.
Plus expenses, plus their allowance.
How do you feel that way?
I never really feel that way.
Okay.
That's right, I don't really forgive on expenses.
Oh, yeah, well, they get an allowance plus expenses. So, yeah, anyway, no, I'm saying it was nice that they didn't take the raise, and I will be watching what happens when we dissolve some crown corporations. What will happen? Is it going to be like when we got rid of Nova Scotia Power Crown Corporation? And
what crown corporations are they thinking of getting rid of?
they're looking at the gambling.
Gaming itself, the gaming and development.
It's a far cry from power.
Do you realize how much money they put back in the economy for what they're doing? You've got a letter coming, and there is a thing I've asked to be put up.
Gambling
That
tax
just
on
happened
the
in
poor.
Canada.
Some effective
But,
tax
and
on
then
the
there
poor.
was another one,
Almost
wasn't there?
exclusively.
Yeah, I can't
There was,
remember off.
yeah, but all I'm saying is, I think the province has to do what they think is best, but I just wanna watch and see if there's any.
We don't have a very good record of having things privatized in Nova Scotia. We actually-
Oh, our
garbage
municipal
record.
corporation, finance corporation is,
They sold, Nova Scotia Power for $500 million. 6 months later, it was worth, was it $3 billion or $6 billion on the stock market?
Oh, yeah, that's worth a lot.
Yeah, 6 months later. It wasn't even a year later.
No. Now, the other thing I did want to mention, Digby Scallop Days is asking from August 5th to the 7th, if anyone would like to volunteer selling tickets or whatever. They have asked counselors if I have already agreed to volunteer for the 3 days. And then, no, but they asked me to ask council and staff, and I'm mentioning it here, and then I will send her an email as well, but just in case, you never know.
Tyler, don't feel it.
Okay, so the next thing we have is, we need to go on camera on 2 issues that are both personnel. So could I have someone move that we go in camera?
second it.
Seconder, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried.